Yes, welcome back to the Wealthy Soca Exchange, where we chop it up with some of the personalities in the soca scene. And today we have a guy considered a really good friend. We have one of the original establishing members of the SIA, the Small Island Asylum. For those who don't know, that's from back in the day. We have a good friend of mine, the captain, the boy wonder.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good, sir. I'm blessed. How are you, man?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
That's what's up, man. So, all right, let's get into this. You brought me some Tiger Malt.
Yes.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Well, you know I don't drink.
No, I know. So I appreciate that. So cheers. I appreciate that.
Yes, indeed.
And okay, so what about so Tiger Malt? I mean, I've known you for a while. I know that you're a Tiger Malt man. So what about Tiger Malt draws you to Tiger Malt?
I was introduced to malt as a kid. I used to always see the elders in my life drinking, and I was a very licorice kid, to be honest with you. So after begging one time, my mom decided to give me a taste of some rum, and it didn't go down very smoothly. So I figured, I saw malt, it looked like Guinness.
Yeah.
So I figured I could drink without hurting myself, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So
it's like when kids want to drink champagne, so they have those ginger ale.
Right.
Right.
So it kind of started from there, and then I just developed like a real love for it.
Yeah. All right.
That's my thing. It's from Barbados. You know what I mean? It makes me feel as though, I'm in touch with
the roots. You're
back.
You're back home. All right. So the name Boy Wonder. You gotta tell me that, because I've known you for a while, and I've never actually asked you where that name, like how the name originated. So tell me about that.
Back in 97, 98. Oddly enough, I was looking through a magazine and I saw DJ Clue.
Okay.
He had a advertisement for a thing, and he used to always call himself the question mark man.
Yeah.
So I kind of like the mystery around it. So I was thinking of something like that, because I don't know if you notice about me, I don't really like attention.
Yeah.
I kind of like to be, behind the scenes kind of thing. So I wanted something that was a little more mysterious. Around that time is when I started to get to the soca scene, and one of the main DJs that I looked up to was the Bandit.
Okay. Yeah.
So I kind of liked how his name sounded. So I was like, okay, the Bandit, question mark man. So I was like, that's the Boy Wonder. You know what I mean?
Like, who is this guy?
Right. You know what I mean? So if you remember, one of my first logos, it had the question mark.
You had the DJ.
Right.
The DJ had the question mark.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where all of that came together. It comes from a few different places. So I just, it's the Boy Wonder. I mean, at the time I started DJing, I was 16. So, I was a fairly young man. Right? So, the Boy Wonder, I mean, I feel like I'm getting to an age now where maybe I have to change it up, which I start to bring in different names. True. The Captain. Yeah. You know what I mean? But, the Boy Wonder is still my original DJ name. I just kind of have different monikers that I play off of.
And you mentioned, Bandit, but I know you have a couple other influences. I mean, I know one is Peter Coppin.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if I was speaking of that earlier, or are there any other influences that you have?
I tend to draw from a lot of the DJs that I've looked up to. There's a lot of DJs that I will take from. The 3 or 4 main DJs, I would say, the Bandit is probably my main influence in terms of mixing style, and just some of the lessons I've been taught. Some of the other ones, as you mentioned, was Peter Coppin for the vibes. He's a very vibesy guy. Energy.
Yeah.
Right? So I try to take that from him. As you know, John Doe is one of my...
John Deezy
is one of my dudes. You know what I mean? When it comes to the bashment and just the way he goes down certain lanes and...
The BPMs.
He goes through it.
Get your blood pressure rising.
Yes. And then the 4th one, which oddly enough is not even a soca DJ, Squingy from Bass Odyssey. I actually started in dancehall before I was introduced to soca.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say, like, what drew you to soca? Because I know that you're a reggae man.
Yes.
You like the reggae, and I've heard you mention, the King Turbo and the Bass Odysseys and the Clashes and all that. So I mean, the fact that you are heavy into the reggae and can still mix the soca, I think that's amazing.
Appreciate that. Yes.
So what about Squingy? He was a very intellectual selector.
he was also one of those selectors that had principles. He wouldn't lower himself to being derogatory more than what was necessary for the moment. I like to think I'm a very structured person. I like to think I'm a man of principles, as best as I can be at least. So I kind of liked that because in that arena, people say the harshest things. They say the most disrespectful things. And he was a man that still in that would have respect for the bosses, or, you know, he wouldn't say things about, you know, things that were considered by most people off limits. So I kind of like that he maintained his own core principles in all of that madness.
And so, he takes some of that and use it for you as well.
Yes, there's certain things I will not do.
Obviously.
Right. So those are the 4 main influences I've had, and I try to adhere to the lessons that they either directly taught me in conversations or in just watching them. I've picked up. So
now you're one of the first DJs I've heard well before a lot of like, you know, like Olatunji and all these other artists now. There's more of an African element within the production and within their songs. But you're one of the first DJs that I've heard to mix a lot of, you know, African music in their mixes, and even on some of your live shows.
Right.
On Frontline Radio, you started off some of your sets with a lot of African vibes, and then it goes into soca music. So I mean, what about African music drew you towards like what about African music made you think, you know what, yeah, like I like all this sounds, I'm gonna put this with my soca mix? Because a lot of DJs wouldn't do that.
Let me tell you where that started from. I was DJing a wedding with my dog Droopy, DJ Droopy, big up. We were doing a Ghanaian, maybe it was Nigerian, one of the two. Actually, I think it was Nigerian and, no, it was Ghanaian. A Ghanaian and Bajan wedding. Whew. So he asked me to come. At that time, he was kind of on the newer side of doing weddings. So he's like, okay, I know you do the Bajan soca and stuff, so let me bring you out and you can help me do this wedding. So while we're sitting there and the speeches were going on, they presented us some CDs. They're like, we want you to play this music.
Yeah.
So I'm a very structured person. I don't really like being thrown curves.
But I mean, first of all, no DJ likes when someone's coming up saying, yo, can you please play this song?
Right.
It's like, no, I got this already going. Like, out of my face.
It's one thing if it was a 1 or 2 songs, but they came with like 4 CDs. Right? So I was like, all right. Jeremy looked at me and I'm like, all right, well, you know, at least they're talking. So what we did is I put the headphones on and I started to listen to some of the music. So on the players that we had, there's like a tap function where if you tap to the beat, it will give you a BPM readout.
Okay.
So I was just writing out, okay, track 1, 110 BPM, track 2, 126, whatever. Just so I had a guide, because I don't understand none of the things we were talking about.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna, you know, try what I can do.
Yeah.
And let's hope for the best, right? So they're like, all right, the speech is finished. DJ, we're ready, you know, whatever. So I started off with a song, and everybody like came on the dance floor.
Yeah.
So I remember looking at Droopy like, yo, there's something here. Like, so I'm mixing, and people are vibing, and I'm vibing because the music sounded really good. It's very melodic and everything. So we're going through. And people are coming up. They're, oh, you know, are you Ghanaian? And I'm like, no. All right. They're like, oh man, you're playing really well. So then from that, because the BPMs are so similar, I just went off of that into soca, and the transition was so smooth. And even Jerky was looking at me like, yo, like that was really good.
Got something here. Yeah.
So that's where it started. So I maintained this was an accident. At the end of the night, they left and they forgot the CDs. So
the universe will provide, man.
It did, because we were packing up, and then the CDs were there, and then we said, I think the bride was still around, and we were like, listen, the CDs are here. They were like, well, I don't know who gave them to you, so, you know, whatever, just hold on to them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I said to Drew, I said, listen, I'm gonna take these with me. If anybody contacts you, because we live not too far from each other, if anybody contacts you, I'll just get them back to you. But I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna rip them.
Yeah.
So I ripped them, and then I started to play them on my show. And then my neighbor happened to be Ghanaian, so I went over to him. I was like, "Listen, I had these CDs and I played it. I don't know a track name. I don't know anything because they were like a burnt CD. It wasn't the original CDs.
Yeah.
So, we did that. He then told me who they were. He gave me some other music, and then that's kind of where it started from. I've always been a vibes-driven DJ. I don't care if the song is not known. If there's a vibe in it that speaks to me, I will play it.
And as I was saying before, I was saying that, and I had another conversation, I was saying, listen, I don't even know what people are saying. I mean, obviously, if it's saying something really bad, then I don't know.
Right.
But if the vibe is right and it sounds good, that should get bumped. Like, no matter what.
See, and another, I guess, influence of sorts would be, I used to go to a lot of Blackberry parties. They're a Dominican sound group. And every so often they would have their own Dominican fest. And I would be lucky if I knew 10 songs for the night. But again, I love the vibes. And I like to watch Dominicans jam to their music. Because it's different.
It's a different vibe than
Trini
or Trini or even Jamaican or any.
Right. So I like to watch that to try and get an understanding of what they jam to. Right? Major Soca has a sound. Trini Soca has a sound. So when you understand the different sounds, you can. To me, I think it makes you a better DJ. Right? You can go off of different vibes and you can switch between different sounds and energies and whatever. So because of that, now I was like, okay. I mean, if you go far enough, we're all from Africa. So my thing was, why doesn't their music play in soca parties? You get there, anybody from Trinidad, anybody from Barbados, anybody from St. Vincent. But there has never been, I don't think I've ever been to a soca fest prior to, say, maybe the last few years, where African music came in. So I started to play it on my shows, put it on mixes or whatever, because my thing is, it needs to at least get listened to. There's a lot of Africans around Toronto and throughout the world, obviously, right? So that was my thing too. I know how good I used to feel when I would go somewhere and I would hear a Bajan song, right? So my thing is, someone out there is going to appreciate that.
Ever thought about going back?
I've thought about it. Funny enough, not for the music. I've always, from a very early age actually, I've always been into nature. I used to grow up with my mom watching the Wild World animals, lions, and the Safari Serengeti and stuff.
National Geographic stuff.
Yeah, so I've always been drawn to that. So I thought of going. I think I'd be a little afraid to go.
Well, it's always a little worrisome about the unknown. But I feel like, I've never been, but I want to go. I feel like once you're there, you'll see the actual real beauty. Because a lot of stuff they show on TV is not exactly what's really there.
Right. One day, I wouldn't say it's high on my bucket list per se, but it's something that I wouldn't be opposed to. I think it would be good for my growth as a human, just to see that. I've never, outside of Barbados, I've never really been outside of North America per se. I've been on a Caribbean cruise, but so it'd be good to explore some different parts of the world and take in the vibes and culture.
And speaking of growth, something that I feel like a lot of black people should do is do some sort of ancestry test, but not the ones that you see on TV. There's actually a site called African Ancestry, where they pinpoint not only the country but the actual district or tribe that you might be from. I'm thinking about doing it. So you spoke about growth. Have you ever thought about taking one of those? Because we're from Barbados, and then by way of that, you're from Africa, right? But no one really pinpoints exactly where in Africa you're from. So in terms of taking an ancestry test, would you ever do one of those?
I would. It's always good to know where you've come from. So yes, I would be interested in doing that. Definitely. To be honest, I've never thought of it prior to. If I have to be real honest, I didn't even know they had that kind of site. I thought they just had the family tree type stuff.
So actually the commercial Muslims, there's always like white people, like they can easily track and stuff, but for black people it's a little bit more difficult.
Right, because you get to a certain point and then it gets a little confusing. So yes, that's something I don't think we'll look into.
Alright, so top 5 soca artists. This is one of the general questions that I have to ask my guests. Top 5 soca artists. No, and not in particular order. Not in particular order. It can be just top 5.
Is this my top 5 or who I think the top 5?
No, your top 5.
I need to explain. Is when I get music, when I see certain names, there are people who I will almost automatically check that song.
Okay.
Because I just believe in the product they put up.
Yeah.
Right. So with that said, Skinny Fabulous has to be my first. Not only is he my first, I think he is the best artist.
Okay.
I know that might be controversial.
Nah, hey man, it's cool, man. It's cool.
I believe, me personally, if Skinny Fabulous was Trinidadian, he'd be bigger than Mashup. If you listen to his music, look at what he's doing. He's not being Trinidadian.
He's so versatile though. Like,
yes.
I love his stuff. Like.
Absolutely. So I would say Skinny Fabulous, you have to say Mashup. You can't say Soca and not say Mashup.
Yeah.
Now this one's a personal pick.
Okay.
I like the guy from Fraud Squad. His name is Adrian.
Okay.
They're known as a duo, but the voice the voice that you know Fraud Squad to be
in there.
Yeah. You know what I mean? They just have an energy. They represent Bajan Soca to the dialect, the slang, everything. But it's still presented in a very well-polished, energetic way. So I like, we'll say Fraud Squad, but it's Adrian.
Okay. So that's 3.
That's 3. Have to put my dog Little Rick in there.
Yes.
Yes.
Dog.
Little Rick. Bajan Soca wouldn't be where it is without Little Rick. We're at 4. I'm going to say Edwin.
I thought you were going to say Allison.
That's why I was pausing. Allison, I feel Allison has had peaks and valleys in her career. She's had high moments. She's had some lulls. She's had high moments again, and she's had some lulls.
Okay.
Like Little Rick, Bajan Soca wouldn't be widely recognized the same way without Allison, but I feel like Edwin has been more consistent.
Okay.
He has delivered sweetness. He has delivered bashment. He has Raga Soca. He's done a lot, and he's maintained that consistency for a number of years. And part of my reason for saying him too is I don't think he's always gotten the recognition. Everybody loves Crossfire, yes.
Yeah.
But I don't think they really appreciate what he has done. Really.
Yeah.
I just don't feel so.
Appreciate it in terms of what though? Like,
if you were to ask somebody if Edwin Yearwood is one of the greats and why, I think they might say yes, but they would think Pump Me Up, Wet Me.
they're thinking about the old stuff.
Right, the classic stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think they pay as much attention to the stuff he has done since.
Okay.
They like it. It's good to them. They enjoy Drink Crop Over. But I don't think they really put that attachment to it.
I kind of like Cover the Road was probably one of my favorite from him in terms of just like the energy and just because I find that a lot of times soca music is kind of, instructional. You tell people to cover the road, and people just go in a frenzy. Like everyone goes nuts. Like I remember being down there that year for Crop Over, and that was there, and it was amazing. So yeah, I feel like to your point, a lot of people think about the old school stuff, but a lot of the new stuff that he's dropped has been amazing.
Very good, and I just feel like a lot of people don't appreciate it at full value. It's one of those things like you enjoy it because you know it's quality, but you almost take it for granted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like he deserves a spot on that list. I mean, there's a lot of other people. There's definitely a lot of other people I like.
It's tough. I feel like sometimes when I ask you about the top 5, you may have to extend it to like a top 6 or 7 because people are getting left out.
Right.
And not people who were like. It's not as if there's not like a huge margin between them. It's already a small margin where you want to pick this person, but you think about that person. You weigh the pros and cons and how you personally feel.
And I'm pretty sure there's somebody who's gonna watch this and they're gonna be like, you put Fraud Squad over Allison Heights. Like, there's gonna be somebody who's gonna look.
But hey, we said personal.
That's why I made sure.
This is the, going up on the chart.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I'm a vibes-driven guy.
Yeah.
I don't care about your name. If you come with a song because I'm not a dancer.
Yeah.
Anybody who knows me knows I don't dance. But there are some songs.
I've seen you dance a couple times.
Yeah, just keep it down, right? But yeah, every so often I'll lose who I am and I'll have a little fun. But generally speaking, I'm not a dancer, and there are some songs that inspire me to want to dance, right? And
To dance or walk up?
To move, to gyrate. I don't know if I can say with confidence that I can walk up. I think my back is a little stiff, you know what I'm saying? So if I gotta keep it real, to move to the music, however you would term it. So we'll go with that.
What's your favorite fete memory?
Favorite fete memory? Okay, my favorite fete memory isn't related to the fete though.
Okay.
So I don't know if you were asking about my favorite fete or my favorite fete. Like
your favorite fete memory? Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Triple X. Triple X had injured his. This was at the other room. The elbow room. I can't remember what it was called. Anyhow, it was in Markham. He had injured his foot and he was on crutches. But for some reason he ended up in this Soca party. And the asylum was there. We were represented. We were thick as usual. And I can't even remember who the DJ was. I want to say, I think it might have been Jay.
Okay.
I was going to say Sweetness, but I think it may have been Jay.
Yeah.
And they played a Fraud Squad. A song that I would say the crowd had no business knowing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But because the asylum was there,
it got a little rinse. Yeah.
And all I remember seeing was someone stole Greg's crutch and was going through the crowd, right? And so I think I was coming back from the washroom or something.
That sounds like a jab thing though.
It was crazy. I just remember seeing this crutch going through the crowd. And then I see X lean up on the speaker still. So I'm like, yo, who took his crutch? Like, someone just grabbed his crutch and was just going through the crowd with it. And I just remember thinking, again, the energy, the vibes, right? And I think that made a lot of people like, yo, what song is this that is doing this to, the people? So I will never forget that. So that's my favorite fete memory. United Nations was a good one. I just like the whole concept of that, and
I wish they could bring that back. Actually, I think it'd be a lot bigger now than it would have been back then. I mean, back then it was great because it was like 12 hours basically. It was like the whole day from like 12 to 12.
Right.
And you had the families come in.
Right.
And they try food and they buy clothes and different vendors and stuff. And then the performances were insane. I remember there was one year where they would have I think it was Crossfire, and they had Burning Flames.
Yes.
And it was amazing. And the fact that you could have that kind of vibe and have all these people here, it's insane. I mean, that's not my favorite fete memory, but I remember just that concept.
What was yours? I know.
Mine?
Yeah, what was yours?
It's only a memory, not because of something that happened, but because of the time that it was. There was a fete at Fortress.
Okay.
And I think it was called the Three Kings Fete.
Okay.
And it was I think Sherwin, Bungie, and I want to say Edwin.
Okay, I remember the fete with Bungie and Edwin. I can't remember if it was that.
And I remember thinking to myself, and that fete cost like $15.
Right. Completely different times.
It cost only $15.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it, and like now if you have that, all you could ever like it's insane.
Yeah.
Even
a regular fete without performers is a lot of money. Early bird.
Yeah. Probably like 25.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I just remember thinking to myself, like that's like, now that I look back at that, it's incredible the fact that you can have a fete with those big names, and have it for that cheap. Actually, okay, so my other fete memory, there was a fete years ago. It was a Juve fete somewhere on Adelaide. I think it was at Sound Port or something like that. I'm not sure, but it was on Adelaide, and it was the night before Caravana, and Sharon was there and Desha was there, and I remember being on the bottom level and someone jumped on top of the bar with a water hose, and I think Timmy's song came on, Bumper Catch a Fire, and the man went on top of the bar and just sprayed everyone. End of the night, weaves and tracks were floating through the water. Like, yo, this is nasty, but yo, it was the Juve, right? So it's expected.
Yeah.
Talking about concerts and stuff like that, if you had to come up with a dream concert, and let me give you some context to this, because I went down to Barbados for 50th Independence a couple years back, and I was blessed enough to get tickets for a concert that had Square One, Crossfire, and Coalition, and I was thinking to myself, in my wildest dreams, I couldn't even think of going to a fete like this, because they had them there, and it wasn't just those three bands there. Like, Ram came through, Rick came through, did all their features and things like that. So I was thinking to myself, geez, like this could be like this. If I won the lottery, you know, I would have these guys on my concert. So if you won the lottery and you could put together your own concert, who would you have perform?
Now, is this limited to Soca?
For now, yeah, Soca.
Okay. I gotta have Crossfire.
Okay.
That's a must. Because as a band, I like Crossfire. So I want them to be the back of the band. Or at least one of them. If it was possible to get Square One together for something like that, I would like Square One.
Yeah.
You gotta have Ecstatic or HT, I don't know which you want to call it. So those are my three bands. Skinny Fabulous, Lava Man, another underrated artist in Soca.
I just saw part of his performance at Vinci, not Vinci Max, but it was the competition. He had the whole crowd going nuts.
Yeah. They do a lot of madness for that guy. So Skinny Fabulous, Lava Man. I mean, you gotta have Lil Rick in there.
Of course.
You know what I would like to put, even if they have to go on early, WCK.
Woo!
Yeah, WCK. I gotta put WCK.
That is spotty, man.
Yeah, they didn't have too many songs I found that made it into mainstream soca fests, but they have some really good ones that did. So I would definitely go with them. I feel like I'm missing some people. You got Bungie, you need Bungie in there. I think I'd be okay with that. I mean, there's a lot of other like smaller artists I would love. I would love Statement to be in there. Statement's a good friend of mine. A very talented artist. He's another guy I don't think gets the credit he deserves. But I'm, trying to change that slowly but surely. There's Mikey's. We have a lot of people that I would like to put on a stage like that so that they can get more.
Okay, so let me throw in a little monkey wrench here. We're gonna, if you could put anyone outside of Soca to be in this dream concert, who would you have?
Okay, so between the band changes, I would like to see Bass Odyssey and Stone Love DJ a little set in between those things. I would like to add, obviously, you want to incorporate a little bit of reggae. So I would have the Movados, Adonias, Vibes Cartel. Mind, this is a dream thing.
I know. But you gotta keep the crowd moving.
Right. So you gotta have the vibes there. Adonias and such. I'd put Drake in there. I like Drake. I know a lot of people don't, but Drake's my dude, man. You know what I mean?
It's gonna keep the crowd moving. This is about what you do between the band changes. Doing this.
I put Drake in there. I like what he represents.
I think that'd be a good crowd surprise. People probably going nuts. You got people outside wishing they could have tickets.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with all of that, I don't see how that concert could not be anything short of amazing.
So where do you see the FET scene going within the next 5 years? Like, where do you see it now? Where do you see it going in the next 5 years?
Well, a concern of mine, I've been noticing for a few years now, there's been a shift towards more groovy soca. The power soca isn't as prominent in the FET scene. So with the dwindling of that, the skill of walking up, aggressive pelvic thrusting to rhythmic music.
Aggressive pelvic thrust. Okay.
You right? You with me?
Yeah.
All right. That has dwindled.
Yeah.
Everybody's just kind of rocking and, you know, a little slow, you know?
Yeah.
So I kind of don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do understand it because the original, what I would call the soca crowd is growing up. We're older. Some of us aren't able to move like that anymore. Some of us just don't care to gyrate ourselves at the end of a work week.
Yeah, you're gonna have to soak down in some bath salts.
All right. So I feel like it's slowed down as that era has grown up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like the younger crowd now, that's all they're getting. Like where we had the big trucks and the togetherness and all that fast music, that for them growing up now is the slower stuff.
But I kind of feel like, I hear what you're saying, but I kind of feel as if like you could take what's coming out of Grenada and St. Lucia. There's some groovy stuff, but you hear a lot of fast tunes too.
Yeah, it's still there, but how much attention is being paid to that? The music's still coming.
Yeah.
But, okay, for example, let's take Soca Kingdom. Road March, won by a landslide, everything it did.
Yeah.
Have you heard that in effect up here?
Yeah, once in a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
But once upon a time, whatever was the Road March was the song that was killed in Festo.
Yeah.
Here on radio.
Yeah.
I just feel like they're not playing the fast stuff as much. So I would like to see that come. But to answer the question, where do I see it going? I think that trend is going to continue. What I do like though is I feel like the other islands are getting a fairer share.
Yeah, they get some more shine. Yeah, definitely.
Right. I think with social media, you can now connect to, because once upon a time,
you can't help but hear it now.
Yes.
Yeah.
DJs were your only avenue to hearing that. If a DJ didn't know it or didn't want to play it, good luck to the crowd.
Yeah.
Now you can just look on Instagram and follow whoever you want to follow, and now you hear it.
It's way more accessible now.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I feel like I would like to see the DJs capitalize on that. I think another thing I don't like that I think is going to continue is a lot of DJs are scared to step up.
Step out the comfort zone.
Right. And play something that they don't know the reaction that they will get for it. Which is another reason why I used to like Bandit. There was a time when Bandit was the only DJ. Like if I could be anywhere in a party and I would hear a song from Cropover that I didn't expect to hear. And without looking at the DJ booth, I almost knew for a fact I was Bandit. He was the guy who did that.
Yeah.
Right? He wasn't, and another thing I love about him, he's not as concerned about
how the crowd may...
Not even so much that, like the image. Like there are some DJs that will only play the hits because they want that acclaim. They want that look like he's the guy who tore down the party. Bandit's not concerned about that.
Yeah.
He cares about the person who walked away saying like, yo, I never thought I would have heard that song. That matters more to him than it does to some DJs. So I kind of want to be that groundbreaking guy, and I wish more DJs were like that. I feel like they're not taking risks as much. They wait till a certain particular DJ puts out a sample mix.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they wait till that catches, and then they just play whatever was on that mix.
And that's it, yeah.
And that's it. So I think the scene will get more diverse. I just think more DJs need to assist that process and not wait for the next guy to do it first.
True.
I mean, don't get me wrong. One of the worst feelings, and I haven't played that much here. I've played a little bit in Barbados a couple times, but one of the worst feelings as a DJ is to play a song that you believe in and nobody responds.
Yeah, it's tough.
Right? But you have to understand. See, I was going to say thinky DJ. That's not the word to say, but I think a lot.
Yeah.
You got to understand, or a lot of people need to understand that it's hard for someone to do two things at once. You could either listen or you could dance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you play a new song, what people tend to do is they listen to the song.
Yeah, true.
And then they stop dancing because
they're trying to take it in and hear the lyrics and hear the vibes and then decide if they like it or not.
Right. So it's a lot of DJs. They don't want that awkward phase, so they'll just play what they know they're gonna get. that reaction, right? Because the look of it is like, yo, he's playing music and no one's checking for it.
Yeah.
What does he play? Right? Yeah. Meanwhile, there'll be people in that thing's like, yo, this song's a good song.
Yeah.
But they're listening and not dancing.
That's true. So,
right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a catch-22, but you gotta get past that. I would like to see more DJs fight through that.
Yeah. I think it would open the doors for a lot more artists.
Yes.
And you would probably have a more rounded reception. Like, because I mean, here's the thing. Songs don't get recognition until someone plays it.
Right.
And the more you play it, the more recognition it gets, right? It's just one of those steps. So I feel that's just the natural progression of a song getting big. What's next for the Boy Wonder?
I'm gonna tell you, I'm excited. I'm a little scared. But I'm excited that in the future, I don't want to put a time frame on it. Something takes longer than you plan.
Yeah.
I would like to do more for the Beijing community here in Toronto.
Okay.
There are a lot of us here, and by Beijing community, I shouldn't even say it like that, because that would sound like it's just Beijians. Those who love and appreciate Beijing soca and culture.
Okay.
There's a lot. There is a lot.
Yeah.
There is a lot. More than I actually thought. I would like to do more. We have a lot of people here who are interested and they have nowhere to go when a Saturday comes.
True.
Right? So I'm in the process of planning and putting things together to make a serious push to doing things in the city to cater to that crowd. Because if you really look at it, there's only really one event a year. One fed, 2 events that Beijians can look forward to and say, every year we have this. We need to increase that. And it's not to separate, it's not to exclude.
It's just,
all is welcome.
It's just raising up our own people.
Right. Because you've been a crop over. You will go and you will hear, for round number's sake, 100 songs. And then when you get back here, you're lucky if 10 play.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I want to give up home to the other 90.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like
again, at your own time, at your own pace, but I look forward to something like that, you know?
Absolutely. And there's a lot of people. So
and I think it's good for networking too, you know? There's a lot of Asians in Toronto, and I mean, yeah, we always see each other here and there and stuff, you know, like Barbados in the Water or certain other fests, but you know, it's good for networking because I feel like a lot of people that I know now is just from going to fests.
Right,
you know?
Absolutely. And we met in the fest.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And there are a lot of Beijians who come. Like even now, there seems to be this increased influx of Beijians coming over for school. And when you talk to 1 and 2 of them, they're lonely. Outside of their studies, they feel like they have nowhere to go to connect with their island, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of, and I don't plan on doing this every week or anything like that, but every so often, give them something to just remind them of home. You know what I'm saying? And meet other people who are from the same places that maybe they didn't even know were in Toronto.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I kind of just want to see that. I mean, I know too many artists that put a lot of their effort into music, and I would like to see them get more return on their investment. You know what I mean? Because we all love the music, but they don't always feel that, right? Especially the smaller artists who may not get booked as much outside of the crossover season. Right? And I mean, you know, there might be 100 of us who love the song.
Yeah.
But if that artist is not booked, they don't know that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I would just like to see a little more done. So I'm going to continue to plan and put things in pieces. Yeah. Hopefully you'll hear the Boy Wonder, the captain. You'll hear me a little more than you may have. Right now, for the most part, it's been mixes and things of that nature. So
I'm looking forward to that, man.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
All right, well, listen, we gotta wrap this up.
Okay.
Bro, I appreciate you coming.
Absolutely, man. A lot of fun, man.
You're gonna come back on again, man, for sure.
Absolutely, man. I'm again, like I said, I'm very honored to be here.
I appreciate it, man.
It's been a lot of fun, and I love what you're doing, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So, if you guys want to follow the Boy Wonder here, you can find him at Mr. Hunt the DJ on SoundCloud as well as Instagram, right?
Yes, Mr. MR Hunt with an E for the Beijians. You already know that. Mr. Hunt the DJ on Instagram and SoundCloud. Yes.
And you got some mixes up there already on SoundCloud.
I do.
Yeah.
download. I always enable downloads, so please download. I don't want you to just listen to it. I would like to drive past you and hear, certain things coming out of your car.
When you were young?
Yeah, man, and if you ever see me out and about, just say hi. I'm not as serious as I may look sometimes,
And you can find me on Instagram at Wuffy.exchange. And if you don't want to see our ugly faces, we have the audio version on iTunes as well as SoundCloud. Just search for Wuffy Soca Exchange.
Sounds good.
Alright, so until next time, bro, thanks again.
No problem, man. Thank you. Alright, take it easy, bro. Thanks.
Thanks for watching.
Take it easy.